In this video, we're diving into all of the Easter eggs hidden in the Modern Warfare 3 beta. We got some really interesting ones such as callbacks to IW zombies, a Makarov Easter egg, and some remastered Easter eggs from the original MW2. It's definitely worth sticking around to the end of the video so you don't miss out on anything. Kicking things off, we're going over to the map Skid Row, where if you go into the barbershop point of the map, you're going to find some really weird things in this barbershop. You can see on this table, we've got a robot toy, we've got some photos of some cats, but in the corner, this is where things get really interesting because we have an old Activision arcade machine for a game called Spacecade. It's making arcade noises. It's really cool, but look what's behind it. A poster for a movie called Nightmare Summer, which is directed by Willard Wyler. Now, to all the IW Zombies fans out there, this is a pretty cool throwback, as Willard Wyler was one of the main antagonists in Infinite Warfare Zombies, who is a famous director directing movies for over 40 years. Zombies maps that you play on in IW are actually movies themselves that were directed by him. But a movie that we never got to play was his very first movie, that being Disco Devil and Nightmare Summer. And in the main menu for Infinite Warfare Zombies, you can see a poster for that exact movie right there. Skid Row isn't the only map you can find this poster on, because we go over to Favela. So if we go into the corner house and go up onto the roof, you can see right here, there is another poster for Nightmare Summer, again directed by Willard Wyler. Very cool indeed. Now let's jump over to the map Highrise, where we have one of the most classic multiplayer Easter eggs of all time. If you spawn on the Acti base office side of the map, run out here and then do this run jump, you can get onto the scaffolding ladder and then be able to climb up onto the rooftop of Highrise. It's one of the most iconic parkours in Call of Duty history, and you can of course get up onto the rooftop like you always could. And the teddy bears that were here in the original Modern Warfare 2 Highrise are here again. There is a ton of them, very detailed in fact, but the one new detail they've added is that if you melee them, they actually decapitate. The devs properly added in this animation that once you melee or shoot them, just the heads of the teddy bears come clean off the body. You can see the stuffing. It's a real feels bad moment. That's not the only secret lying around on Highrise, because again, in the Acti base office, there's a section where you'll find multiple arcade machines that are all running their own different games. We have the Acti base Arcade Classics machine, the Spacecade machine from Skid Row's back, there's a Mac 6 arcade machine with a steering wheel, and then War Beast the game. And these are all games that are based off of movies within the Modern Warfare universe. As if you go into the Acti base reception, you'll find that set up there is a station with the fictional game console, the Acti base, which we first saw in Modern Warfare 2019's London Piccadilly mission. Furthermore, if we go into the Acti base office, there are a ton of really funny movie posters. One here called Dolphin Dive of the Deep World, narrated by Tilly Tail Wag. Obviously, this is a reference to dolphin diving within Call of Duty, but it just gets better the more we look around. We got a poster here for a movie called War Beast. There's Medieval Warfare, and there's also one that's called Cobo, Seeing Red. But then the craziest one is right here on this side of the map, where we have a movie called Knock Knock, directed by Who Stare. Then there's In the Clouds, but then the craziest one of all, which is Nikita Dragovich in Spawn Closet. Now, this might possibly be the very first Treyarch reference in any of the new Modern Warfare games, but this is obviously a reference to the main antagonist of the original Black Ops, Nikita Dragovich. He was the one that created Project Nova and was responsible for the Numbers program, which brainwashed Mason into becoming a sleeper agent. I can't believe that this character is referenced so subtly here in this poster. It's just crazy. And we got to talk about the two secret multiplayer map remakes that are hidden within one of the beta maps, and this is on the Ground War map Orlov Military Base, where when you first load into the map on the loading screen, you can see that this is a remake of COD 4's Countdown. And when you look at the TAC map and also out in the distance, you can see the remnants of the map, which is really cool, and that's going to be part of the overall Warzone map. And I know that because at COD Next, where I got to play Warzone early, I actually got to explore this area, and it is a true one-to-one remake, just feels a lot bigger. But there's actually another secret remake within Orlov Military Base that you probably don't even notice. Now, if you spawn on this side of the map where this is your main headquarters, then you are part of a secret map remake from Subbase from Modern Warfare 2. The moment we walk down here, you will immediately recognize this is the main part of that map where you have those two sections. On the right, you have a tunnel that leads out towards the little boat dock, and everything looks just like you remember it, but because it's not set in a snowy environment, but more in a daytime normal weather, it looks a little bit different at first. But as soon as you hear, the memories just come flooding back and everything is as you remember it. There's a few more ladders that have been added now, so you can get up into those roofs a little bit easier without having to go up the stairs where you had so many annoying stair campers. But this was a map remake I was not expecting to see. Now, there is another really strange Easter egg on this map, and I got to give a big shout out to Killer Stidge over on Twitter for pointing this out. If you make your way to the west platform and look at this building, there is some Russian text along the rooftop of it, and if you actually translate it, it translates to the word Verdansky. Not Verdansk, but Verdansky. And to me, that just can't be a coincidence. Can't really work out the significance of it, but it does say the word Verdansky, so make of that what you will. Now, this next Easter egg is easily one of the coolest out of all within the beta. And if we go on the map estate and go over into the lodge main room, back in the original Modern Warfare 2, this was Makarov's hideout, where he planned all of his attacks during Modern Warfare 3. And if we look at this planning wall on estate, we can see that there are some really intricate details. We've got images of Captain Price and Farah, but more importantly, there are images that look like CCTV shots from the moment that the Piccadilly attack happened in the original Modern Warfare 2019 campaign. But rather than this simply just being images from that campaign mission, there are specific details drawn onto these images in what looks like a yellow biro that look like plans, where we have crosses on certain places, we have circles. So clearly this was something that involved Makarov's planning and not Al-Qatala as it first appeared in the campaign of that game. So this proves right there that Makarov really has been the puppet master this entire time. And the events that have led us towards this game with this storyline with Makarov as the villain, perhaps he has always been the villain. He's always been the one behind the scenes. Now, that of course is all just a theory, because in reality, these images that we see on the walls are not new. These have been in different maps as far back as the original Modern Warfare 2019. They were even in some of the bunkers in Verdansk. So this might be a case of reused assets, but either way, it's still really, really interesting to see this here, knowing the context and backstory of this place, and especially why this estate is so important to Makarov. Now, of course, there is another estate Easter egg, which is an iconic one that we have to show, and it is back. And if you go upstairs to the bedroom of the lodge, in the bathroom, in the bathtub, there used to be a very suspicious doll that was blown up, let's just put it that way. And now it has been replaced by this weird mannequin with no legs that's wearing some sort of military vest and helmet. I was always confused why there was a blow-up doll just chilling in the bathtub, but now it's been replaced by something probably a little bit more suitable. But for our final Easter egg, we're going back over to Skid Row, where over in the apartments, we have a pretty strange Easter egg. So this is desk here with, again, a load of stuff pinned to the walls, very similar to Estate, but there is some sort of police intercom that's just playing some sort of audio repeatedly, but it's really hard to make out what they're saying. But that's going to wrap up all the Easter eggs in the beta. Expect a ton more Easter eggs when the full game comes out, and I'll be covering that all as well as zombies here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe.